Welcome to the space for transformational leaders to unleash their magic, see better client results, work lighter, and live source. Hi there. Welcome to today's video about the anatomy of a transformation as a tool for inner peace. I'm Darla Ledoux, founder of Sourced and author of Shift the Field. And I have the book here. This is a book about how to facilitate transformation as a coach or consultant or a magical entrepreneur in some way. In it, I write about the anatomy of a transformation. This is a process or a tool to help facilitator know where their client is in the journey of transformation. I want to talk about how this is actually helpful for all humans to really understand how transformation works. Because when we understand how transformation works, it changes everything. So I'm going to share a little story. But first, I want to define what is transformation. Transformation is creating a new awareness that creates a permanent shift in how you show up and interact with life. Or it helps you shift your energy field. When we understand how to create a permanent shift in our energy field, we understand that no result in life is permanent. So whatever we're going through, whatever we're experiencing, we know how to navigate it and we know that it will end. I worked with a mentor early in my business who used to talk about this idea about children and how they would fall and skin their knee and cry as if the world was going to end. And I'm guessing everybody has seen this happen or maybe remembers this happening for you as a kid. And he would say, why is that? Why is it that when, as an adult, we fall and skin our knee, it's not a big deal. We might, get a little tear, but we're not going to freak out. And he said, because the child doesn't know that the pain is going to end. As an adult, you really know that even though this is painful now, it will end, and therefore it's not that upsetting. Let's talk about why understanding how transformation works, the anatomy of a transformation. Again, it's a 3-stage process that I talk about in the book. Why this is so important to creating inner peace, or in other words, not crying as if the world is going to end when something's happening in your life that is not your preference. When we know that we can move through the stages, we can commit to something different, right? A lot of times when pain happens in our life, it is the thing that causes us to commit to a transformation, to commit to something different. That's stage 1 of the anatomy, commit. And then we move into stage 2, which I call the sourced experience. And the sourced experience has 3 parts: release, receive, rise. This is where we release our attachment to the old way, or release control or our perception of control. We receive a new truth. In other words, we see something about our energy pattern that's been at play that this circumstance in our life is mirroring back to us. So we receive a truth about our energy. And then as we receive it and we be with it, we validate it, we can transform or transmute it. And then from there, we rise in a whole new energy field. And when we're in the new energy, we attract completely different results. So that's the middle stage: release, receive, rise. When we understand that that is predictable, that is available to us every single time, we don't freak out. I mean, we might a little, I still can, but at some level we know this will end. We know, okay, if I can receive whatever truth is available for me here, that is the pathway through this transformation into the rising in a new energy and creating a different result that I then go into stage 3, which is integration. I can integrate the new energy and have a whole different experience in life. Anytime something is showing up that's not preferable, right? That creates, we say outside of ourselves, a sourced experience can show up when something happens that's not our preference, that's not in alignment with the result we wanted. And that might cause us an experience of pain, but it's also an invitation to transform or transmute the energy and create a whole new reality. For example, maybe something happens at your work that causes you to realize that maybe you're out of alignment with that work and to reinvent yourself in your career or your life. That's an example of a sourced experience. And when we know that that's available, when the thing happens at work, we're not crying like a kid who skinned their knee, but we're really like the adult who skins their knee and they go, okay, I know that this is happening for me, and I know that this too will end. This is Darla Ledoux, founder of Sourced, author of Shift the Field. Please let me know what you're taking away from this video. What's your experience with shifting your energy or knowing that that's possible and therefore being in deep, calm and inner peace no matter what's happening in the world? I'd love to hear.